What's going on, my loyal Ave Moore's heads? Well, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are in Avenue of the Giants in far northern California here, and I am absolutely in heaven. It's cold. I mean, people don't really think of California as being a particularly cold place, but it is chilly here right now. Today, I wanted to review an appropriately chilly and also geographically relevant album. I'm going to be talking about the album Cold of Ages by the band Ash Borer. Ash Borer is a atmospheric black metal project, previously from Arcata, California, which is some nowhere town around here. I think they moved up to Portland or something. They moved up to Oregon at some point to a bigger city, but they are definitely originally from a small town in far northern California. I think this is the scenery they would have been seeing growing up as kids and sort of immersing themselves in. And I definitely see how that would lend itself to making atmospheric black metal. So Cold of Ages is a very important record for me. I would probably say it's one of the first black metal albums I really clicked with, like in a very, very big way. So I think this album came out in 2012 or something like that, something around there. And it's just one of the first black metal albums that I really clicked with and, spent a lot of time revisiting and listening to over and over. And it also sort of marked the time in my life where I started to really realize that nature and, hiking and just being outside was something that was actually very important for me and something that I really wanted to prioritize in my life moving forward. And, bands like Wolves in the Throne Room and Ash Borer, who are both, I think, part of what's now called the Cascadian black metal scene, really helped instill in me. And the music was really reflective of just the place that they were, the beautiful American Northwest that has just so many amazing things to see. And it's just really feels very full circle that I'm living out here and I'm able to see this stuff on a regular basis. It just feels very I don't want to say surreal, but it's very important for me, and I really think bands like this and Wolves in the Throne Room were pivotal in helping me to realize that is something I wanted to prioritize in my life. So the album itself is over an hour long. It's only 4 songs, so we're looking at songs that are averaging 15 minutes in length. That should kind of key you into what you're getting into on this album. It is the extreme end of atmospheric black metal. There are lots of moments on this album where you're just waiting for the build to reach the climax for minutes upon minutes. That's something I love, especially because I think it lends itself to the more contemplative sort of, feeling of being outside and just time passing in that strange flow state where you're not really aware of specific moments. It's all kind of just congealing together, and you're just sort of experiencing everything all at once. And that's something I really like in music. It's obviously something I really like about being outside too, and really immersing yourself in the place that you are. But it's cool to find music that can kind of approximate that feeling and help you achieve a similar mindset. So, as I mentioned earlier, it's pretty cold out here. The album is called Cold of Ages. And I think that kind of really sets the tone. It's a very, very cold album. It is very much that sort of misty, murky black metal. Very inspired by, Scandinavian black metal, I would say, just in terms of the sonic qualities and the landscapes it's trying to evoke. But, this definitely has a unique approach, just probably due most in part to the length of these songs. It almost has like a doom metal vibe in the sense of just like really like harping on one riff for 3 or 4 minutes straight and just, adding layers and adding complexity as the piece develops, but still keeping one musical idea flowing for a long time. And as I mentioned, I really like that helps you get into this headspace of just, I don't know, just, being very present in the moment that you're in and really engaging with whatever it is, the beauty of being outdoors or the beauty of the music that you're listening to. Just something that's very important to me. I guess I would call it meditative. That's sort of a good descriptor for the songs on this record. Something I really like sonically about this record is the use of really like these kind of eerie, spacey sounding synths. They come and go throughout the record. They're not present the entire time, but they're used to very good effect. They're a great counterpoint to the metal on the record because while the songs are very long, there are still lots of very intense, almost furious moments, really fast drums, really aggressive riffs and tones. Definitely worth mentioning that the vocals on this record are just like Wraith-like. Absolutely zero chance of understanding what the guy's saying. It's really just like another layer in the music. It's not meant to be front and center. And that's something I really like, especially in this style of black metal, but really just in black metal in general. I like when the vocals aren't at the front. I'm not really interested in hearing about, how blasphemous and satanic your lyrics are. Of course, this band doesn't sing about that, but just in general, I like, I'm actually a vocalist myself, like primarily just in terms of bands I've been in the past, and that's the role I've always taken outside of like solo projects. So I say this as a vocalist. I don't think vocals need to be front and center. I don't think they should be like the focal point of the music necessarily. Probably a controversial opinion, but this album really really satisfies that for me, because they're really just like, they kind of almost blend in with the guitars just because everything's so saturated in reverb and delay. So it's all just kind of this echoing, chasmic, almost kind of a weird counterpoint to how like claustrophobic and dark. It's like 4:30 right now, and you see how dark it is. These trees do not let light in. It's cool. I mean, it creates this really like murky atmosphere, and I just think that that's probably something that couldn't help but saturate into their music. So Ash Borer, incredible band. I'm unsure about their status at the moment. I know they released an album a couple years ago, probably like 2018 or 19 or something, and I haven't heard anything from them since. I don't know if they're broken up. I don't know if they're on hiatus or what. Wasn't a huge fan of that album. It didn't really have the same vibe for me. But regardless of what they're doing now, this was a hugely important album for me, and it was a very obvious choice for me to review while I'm here, because, as I said, they're from some town that's just nestled in these trees somewhere. And this was just a really, really formative album for me. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. We still got some driving to do. Got to go get some dinner, maybe walk around in the woods a little more. So appreciate you guys watching. Hope your 2025 is off to a great start. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one.